What it do, y'all? I'm TikTok live tonight because I just wanted to kick it. Ain't nobody went here yet, so I'm sure when they start inviting people on, they come when they come. But I'm just gonna start chit chatting because hope y'all having a beautiful start of the week as well. But I'm sitting here thinking. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I started talking about things that I used to didn't like about myself. What's up, y'all? Stick around. Stick around, join in, share the live, please. Because I just want to share a thought that I was having for the last couple of days about liking yourself. This conversation started when I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about relationships, about why people a lot of times they keep going back to toxicity, and a lot of times it be because people think that they be in love, but they really just be addicted to the sex. And sometimes people can confuse that with love. That's not difficult to do, but it went deeper than that because it took me back to a place where I didn't like things about myself. Like I used to hate my nose, y'all. That is one thing about myself I have never liked. I hated my nose. I used to get teased about it and everything or whatever. But I don't feel that way no more. Now I like this little pointy humpy mother lover, okay? Because it's mad. You know what I'm saying? It's my nose is on my face and it fits my face because it's my nose. You know what I'm saying? Like all the things I used to hate about myself, I love dearly now. But then it goes back to thinking about a lot of the things that we go through in life is because we really don't like ourselves. And a lot of times we don't take the time out to think about that. We're always talking about self love, and that's a very important subject that we should talk about. Self love. Hey, y'all, anybody joining in, please stick around. My subject is, do you really like yourself? And I want to talk about this because people tend to skip over the self liking part and get straight into the self love part. But as far as I'm concerned, and these are just my thoughts and my opinions and views based off of, my own experiences. I don't feel like a person can really learn how to love themselves efficiently until they have learned how to really like themselves. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like when you first meet somebody, whether it's same sex, female friend, male friend, or a romantic interest, regardless. Um, when you really like that person, you get this jittery feeling. It's like a excited feeling inside of you to where you want to get to know this person. You enjoy this person's company. You want to, hang out with this person. You start to open up and talk to this person and you get comfortable with this person. And after being around this person for a sufficient amount of time, you start to care. And then you go from caring about them and then you start to love them. And a lot of times that goes into now you falling in love with this person and you want to be with this person, right? You want to share a life with this person. You want this person to occupy a space in your life because that's how you feel. You appreciate them. You've grown to appreciate them being in your life, right? And so I feel like we don't go through those stages with ourselves. So a lot of times, if you're not going through those stages of liking yourself, getting to know yourself, spending time with yourself, talking to yourself, like we've been told we shouldn't, it's crazy to talk to yourself. No, it's not. This is why a lot of people can give everybody else advice, but not themselves. You know why? Because they pay attention to everybody else and they see all the details with everybody else's life and circumstances, but they don't see their own. So you have to learn how to talk to yourself and reason with yourself and be logical with yourself too. That's part of becoming your own best friend. That's part of becoming somebody that you like, liking yourself. Then you go through those stages of liking yourself. Then you go through those stages of caring about yourself. Then you get to that place of loving yourself. Like it's layers to loving yourself. You don't just love yourself just because it sounds good to say. And we promote that, but we don't talk about how to get to that level. So loving yourself, a lot of times people are comparing themselves to other people. When you're doing that, a part of that is because you're not satisfied with some aspect of yourself. So you look at other people's qualities and you start to compare yourself to them. because you feel like you're lacking in that area. And when you like yourself, you're not comparing yourself to other people because you're satisfied and you appreciate what you have at that moment. Other aspects of people really not liking themselves is not putting effort into themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people, they don't they don't have the motivation to. There's a lot of people that could really, they don't see their own beauty, so they don't know how to magnify the beautiful aspects of themselves. Say for instance, somebody have beautiful features, right? um or a certain body type. Let me use that for an example. Some people may have a certain body type, but they don't know the correct type of clothes to wear to complement that body type. You know what I'm saying? And so when you really like yourself, you pay attention to those type of details that can actually enhance the beautiful aspects of yourself, because everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a big woman, but I understand that even being the size that I am, that everything that can fit my body ain't gonna look good on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody else could rock an outfit and be like the bomb in it. That don't mean that same outfit gonna make me, I'm gonna be the bomb in it. You see what I'm saying? So when you like yourself, you understand what looks good on you and you understand what's not for you. That's part, all of that is wrapped into knowing yourself, liking yourself, getting to that stage of self-love. But it has to start somewhere. We were not taught that. We got to admit this, y'all. A lot of us in our melanated cultures, we were not taught self-value. We weren't taught self-love. We just wasn't taught it. And it's not our forefathers' faults because they didn't know. They were ignorant. You know what I'm saying? But now that we know, it's time for us to break those trends with ourselves and our children and start learning how to go through those stages of learning ourselves and becoming our own friends and learning how to like ourselves. Because a lot of us simply don't like ourselves. Another example of not liking yourself is not putting in, not is accepting low effort from other people. You know, this subject that we were talking about, a lot of times people think that people love them, and it's like, how could you think somebody love you when they don't even show love to themselves? Like, you got to care about where you live, you got to care about your stability, you got to care about the simple things that you need. And a lot of people, a lot of people are 30, 40, and 50, and the way that they live their own everyday lives, the way that you see them, the lack of care they have for themselves. A lot of times people expect that you could get in relationships with these people and they're going to love you the proper way. But how do you expect that when you see that they barely take care of themselves the right way? If you go on pillar to post, pillar to post, pillar to post, and you never take the time out to focus on some stability for yourself, how the hell are you going to love and take care of somebody else? You know what I'm saying? If you got kids all over the place and you're not even taking care of those kids, how is it that anybody can expect that, oh, I know you're going to love me? And come on, y'all. We got to start paying attention to these little small details that we do to ourselves. Because then when we don't get what we give ourselves, that we imagine we're going to get from being in these relationships and connections, we get mad at the other person. But that's really reflects back. Everything we do reflects back to us. Every relationship, friendship that we encounter or we allow ourselves to entertain or connect with reflects back to us. How do you feel about yourself? Do you like yourself? Because if you really like yourself, you're not going to put yourself in a position and stay in a position around people who's not going to treat you well, who's not going to treat you like they like you too. And the bottom line is, when people like you, they're not doing things to hurt you. They're not being vicious to you. They're not lying to you. You know what I'm saying? They're not stringing you along. They're not misusing you. You know, they're not taking advantage of you. They're not doing those things. You don't do that to people that you like. But when you like yourself, you're not going to allow other people to do that to you either. You understand what I'm saying? Um, y'all ever been that friend or been that person that took up for somebody else when you saw somebody else trying to, you know what I'm saying, be shiesty to them or slight them some type of way, and you knew it was wrong, and you was like, I'm not about to let you do that to that person because that person ain't did nothing wrong. Why would you do that? When you don't know how to defend and have your own back like that, then at that point you're not your own friend. You know what I'm saying? You're not even your own friend. So how can you be a friend to somebody else and defend them and their honor, but you don't stop and defend your own? Be your own friend. And the only way you know how you can do that is to like yourself. Another thing I say I've witnessed that people may do when they really don't like themselves is sometimes they may excessively put effort into themselves because they feel they need all these things to make them feel good. And a lot of times we call that low self-esteem, but then when you're dealing with low self-esteem, you got to ask yourself, is that also a product of not liking yourself? It's the small things we do, y'all, that will tell us we don't like ourselves. Like keeping your house clean, keeping your area clean, taking care of where you live. You know what I'm saying? When you really like yourself, you want to make sure that everything around you is you know what I'm saying, in its proper place. If you at home, and I'm not, this ain't to judge nobody. This is just to point out things that people go through when they're not feeling good about themselves, when they don't rock with themselves. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna put a baby in a place to where it's an unclean environment. Why would you put yourself in one? You're not going to do that to somebody you love, but if you don't love yourself, then you will do that. If you don't like yourself, then you will do that. You know what I'm saying? You will allow yourself to dwell in circumstances and places that is just not fit for a person to be in. But when you really rock with yourself, you want to make sure everything around you is just going to represent you. You know what I'm saying? When you feel good about yourself, you're going to take care of what you're around. Um, Another thing I want to say that we may do when we really don't like ourselves is we will be obsessively obsessive about relationships. We'll have excessive behavior about relationships. People who haven't learned how to like themselves always think they got to be with somebody. And they don't feel good about themselves if they're not getting the attention, if they're not dating, if they're not in a relationship. Those are excessive behaviors that people have when you really don't like yourself. Because when you like yourself and you become your own friend, you become content being by yourself. Like this whole thing of being single or being by yourself has become like some sort of shameful taboo thing that society has put on people. But when you really like yourself, you don't give a damn what people think about you. You're not getting ready to go by some stupid standards by people who don't even know you. You understand what I'm saying? Intelligent people, and I'm not calling nobody, not saying you're not intelligent, but what I'm saying, most intelligent people have learned to simply be single if they're not already in a relationship that they've been in for quite some time, and they have pretty much worked through their kinks and all of that type of stuff. Most intelligent people are single because most intelligent people are focusing on other things in life and they know it's more to life. They're focused on exploration. They're focused on growth and expansion. They're focused on wonder. You know what I'm saying? It's so much that we have to look into and learn and explore on this planet that a romantic relationships is really kind of minute when you really look at it. There's so much more to you as an individual, being a galactic individual, that most people don't take the time out to even it's parts of yourself that most of us don't even take time out to discover. You know what I'm saying? Like the magic in you, the power in you, the God power in you. We talk about being gods and goddesses and this, that. But do you really practice what you preach? Do you even know how to access that power? Do you even know how to turn it on and help you and make it work for you? Most people do not take the time out to even discover or learn themselves. So I just came here to talk about that because I felt like it was an important subject to point out that before we even get to that stage of self-love, which is the highest form of frequency, right? One of the highest forms of frequencies. You cannot reach that if you haven't even learned the small steps to take to like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do you date yourself? Do you take yourself out on dates? Do you buy yourself flowers? Do you treat yourself the way you want somebody else to treat you? Or Do you accept low effort from people because they're giving you, because you're just happy to get attention? That is somebody who have not learned how to like themselves. And a lot of that can lead back to a lot of childhood traumas, depending on how you grew up, who raised you, how people treated you, how people treated one another growing up around you. What are your own views of yourself? How do you view yourself? Well, do we pay attention to that? Because as people, I feel like we spend so much time looking at everybody else that we don't take enough time out to go in that hermit mode and look at ourselves. And as young men, young women, older women, young women, some people never learn how to get there. There are people that are in their 50s and 60s right now still obsessing over not being in a relationship. There's women that are still in their feelings because they've never been married. And they've always wanted that. You know what I'm saying? But have you even made a commitment to yourself? Are you committed to you? Are you loyal to you? Are you faithful to you? Are you good to you? Because you want somebody else to come and give you these things, but have you given yourself any of these things? So self-acquaintance is very important when you're on a journey of healing, and you're on a journey of self-love, and you're on a journey of manifesting love in your life. That is very important, to find all of those things within yourself and learn to like them. Have you learned how to like the things about yourself that you once didn't like? What do you like? Your weight? Are you happy with that? Everybody ain't meant to be skinny though. You know what I'm saying? Have you learned to accept that you're going to be a voluptuous person, whether you're a male or a female? Have you learned to accept that? Have you learned to say, listen, let me get healthy and stop worrying about how to squeeze into these pants? Because there's a lot of women, they go get them surgeries and they get these hourglass bodies, but they be unhealthy as ever. They still don't eat right. They still are not taking care of that themselves. They still don't like themselves. That's why a lot of people go back and they repeatedly getting these surgeries. They finding everything wrong with themselves. They fix one thing and now they done spotted something else they don't like. You know what I'm saying? When you like yourself, you understand that, okay, I got this pointy nose, but you know what? I think it's kind of cute. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to find things about yourself that you don't like and go into why you don't like those things about yourself. And if it's something you can change, do it. I ain't talking about no quick fix. I'm talking about if it demands you to have a health change, a diet change, do it. If it demands you to get your butt up and go work out, even if you got to do it at home, do it. If it demands that, you stop wearing wigs or putting glue in your hair or wearing weave all the time so that you can do it. If you don't like the way your hair look, your hair grow, you don't like your skin complexion, that could be due to some sort of lifestyle change you need to do. Are you drinking too much soda? Stop drinking it. Are you buying the proper products that you can put on your face to keep your skin clear? You know what I'm saying? Do you have any health care, skin care regimens that you practice? All of those things, that most of the things we don't like about ourselves are really things that we can change on our own. A lot of times people just don't choose to take that time out to get into that mode of focus and go through the process. People want everything handed to them. Everything got to be handed to them. Oh, my hair won't grow. I'll just go buy a wig. And now you got a lot of women. I'm not down to women that wear wigs and weaves. Do what you do. That's your thing. But what I am saying is a lot of women don't feel beautiful without that stuff. A lot of women don't feel beautiful without their eyelashes, without their makeup on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women don't feel beautiful unless they going to get that extra little, whatever flingy stuff under their arm. They got to get it cut off. They got to go get the butt lift. They got to get, the breast thing done. They got to go get, and the whole thing is, I'm not saying nothing is wrong with any of those things. But what I am saying is this. When you feel you have to over excessively do all of that to yourself, re-alter your body, re-alter who you are, a lot of that boiled down to you have not learned how to like yourself. And it just is what it is. Sometimes it could be a fashion statement. Ain't nothing wrong with eyelashes. I like all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when you feel like you can't go without it, you got to have it. That's because you have not learned how to like yourself. So don't come telling me you do all this because you love yourself. No, you don't. No, you don't. Now you're lying to yourself. So change that love to lying, because you don't love yourself if you think that you need all of that because you love yourself. No, you don't. You need all of that because you need to feel validated. You understand what I'm saying? All of that stuff all the time. Hey, if you want to go put some extensions in, do you? But if you can't get up and look at yourself and bear to stand what you see, without your wig, without your eyelashes, without your makeup, without your money, without 20 women, you know what I'm saying? Without all this extra stuff, you cannot convince me that you really like yourself and you really rock with yourself like that. No, you don't. No, you don't. And that's really all I came here to say. You know, a lot of people, they you cannot understand what love is until you learn what it is to love you. What does that feel like? What does loving you feel like? A lot of people can't answer that question. You know why? Because a lot of people don't even understand that liking yourself is all connected to your inner child. When you haven't learned how to forgive that inner child, heal that inner child in you, you have not taken those steps to liking yourself, becoming your own friend, to becoming your own best friend, to actually loving yourself. That is a process. Do not let society lie to y'all. Do not let society slap all of these things in your face and make you feel like it's a microwave job. Ain't none of this stuff a microwave job. All of it, it comes with ingredients and recipes. Do you have the ingredients? Do you know the recipe? You see what I'm saying? So that healing journey, nothing can be fixed until you start with that inner child. Because that inner child, when it comes back into this realm, has to relearn and rediscover this atmosphere all over again. And you have to get reacquainted with yourself. And sometimes we stay acquainted with our trauma. We stay acquainted with things that have hurt us in our lives. We stay acquainted with the negative things that we've become accustomed to in our lives. And we get to this place to where now we're suffering psychological inverse. And when you start suffering psychological inverse, now your mind starts going, your mind is being used against you to make you believe all these fantastic lies. And then society, here they come with their biscuits, lying to us. Oh, nobody wants to date a single mother. That's a damn lie. That's a lie. Oh, single this, single. Let me tell you something. A single parent household any day is better than a two-parent toxic household. Stop letting society lie to y'all. Stop it. There's a lot of successful people that have come from single parent homes. And I'm not down in two parent homes, but I'm just telling you the lies that society wants you to think about and believe about yourself. And if you have not fixed you will start to believe some of these lies that society and the internet is telling you about yourself. Come on, y'all. It's females out here on videos talking about, he sent me $30 for lunch and that's not enough. And we bow right into that foolishness. Why? Because lack of liking yourself. Lack of liking yourself. You feel me? When you start to like yourself, you don't give a damn what nobody think. When you start liking yourself, you don't give a damn who think you cute. You don't give a damn who think you just don't care. The only thing that matters to you when you really like yourself is how you feel about you. And a lot of people cannot handle people when they stand in that type of energy and they vibe on that type of frequency, because it bothers them, because they start to feel like, oh, you just put yourself on a pedestal. You damn right. I worked my way to this pedestal, baby, and I'm not coming off of it for nobody. It just is what it is. And either you climb on your pedestal and we can meet each other on our pedestals, you feel me? Or you could stay in the dirt, eating worms, which if you want to. But me, I'm going to stay right at the top of this palm tree and I'm going to keep eating pineapples because that is where I enjoy being, But it's a process, y'all. And that's really what I wanted to come here and say. You're not going to allow yourself to be treated, devalued by nobody, by people in relationships, baby daddies, baby mamas. You're not going to think that you love I can't love nobody that treats me bad. I can't love you. And if I start to care about you and like you because I'm looking at your higher self, I started to get connected with a part of you that you don't even see about you, then that means that we're not evolved on the same frequency. So I have to detach from you because you're toxic to me at that point. You feel me? A person who have not evolved to their higher selves, when you have, they will become toxic to you. So it's no, you can love that person, but they're not even the person that you see in them yet. So you have to detach from that. And the bottom line is when you're vibrating in a place to where you have worked your way to that self-love atmosphere in your life, being around anything that is opposite of that, it will not work for you. It will detach automatically because y'all won't even be on the same plateau. It'll be a lot of conflict. Y'all won't even be, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put this word down for somebody who may have needed it. Are you dating yourself? Do you spend time with yourself? What are your hobbies? What do you like? What is your favorite color? You understand? What is your favorite food? What is your favorite constellation? What is your favorite planet? What do you enjoy the most about the universe? You know what I'm saying? What have you learned in the path that you've taken in your life? What specific things have life taught you that, put you in a place to where you can look back and be like, wow, that was a beautiful lesson I learned. And I went through some hell to learn it, but I figured it, you know what I'm saying? What have you really learned in what lessons have you really learned in your life? Do you take the time to reflect on those things, or are you still repeating your lessons? Going through the same thing, the hard knocks all over. It's a hard knock life. You still going through that hard knock life because you just don't want to accept things for what they are because you haven't learned how to like yourself. You still going back to that same woman or that same man that's been lying to you for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, telling you they gonna love you and all they doing is using you and abusing you. But you won't stay, you won't leave because I love her, I love him. You don't love that person. You're addicted to that person. You're addicted to that energy that you're connected to. You're addicted, to that trauma. You're addicted to that type of treatment. You're addicted to the sexual connection. That's not love. That's an addiction. You're addicted to the drama. You're addicted to what you're familiar with, the trauma. You're addicted to not liking yourself, and you've become committed to not liking yourself because you are afraid to pull away from that. Because you know why? Once you pull away from that, nobody else is responsible for what happens to you after that except you. Now it's time to get in that mirror and face yourself. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to blame the next person and stay in these times. I can't do this. That's your fault. Well, they said, I don't know if I should leave or not. I don't know what she might do or he might do. Whatever you allow them to do. Because trust and believe me, ain't nobody going to fool with you when they know you about your business. People are going to play with you when you sit back and you play oblivious to their tactics and their machinations. So anyway, y'all, I don't want to stay here too long, but I just want to say it's definitely been a pleasure in my own journey of me learning to reacquaint myself to myself, learning how to accept all of me, even the pieces of me I didn't like when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't like my body. I didn't like this about myself. I hated my hair. I complained about everything about myself. Okay, everything. I didn't like my lips. I didn't like my teeth. I didn't like nothing, okay? But a lot of that came from being in an environment of around people who didn't really like me either. And I started to believe those nasty and ugly things about myself, that I wasn't likable, that I wasn't attractive, and all of this type of stuff. So yes, that can happen to all. It happens to all. It happens to the best of us, y'all. The bottom line is, are you willing to accept at this point in your life that maybe, just maybe, you're going through a lot of the things that you're going through in your life right now because you haven't learned how to like yourself. You having a hard time loving yourself because you haven't even learned how to first like yourself. And that's really all I came here to say. On that note, y'all, happy Monday. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all share it. And I hope somebody got something out of it. On that note, she out. Peace.